Yeah. The ones that hate me the most look just like me. You tell me what that means. Make a slick comment and see what that brings. I seen it go down, we can reenact things. Extreme like BMXing. These boys pussy and they PMSing. People in the city see the movement occurring and say, my God, I wanna be in that scene. Damn right you wanna be in this scene. She had the video trying to be in this scene. Used to fantasize about being this scene. Bluegrass girl, but she got big dreams. Can't touch me, I got instincts. Locked in the house, but I'm plotting things. I brought a gang to the party with me. 5 white boys, but they not in sync. Fuck what y'all think, fuck everything that you say about me. My dogs like to play Madden and 2K, but one thing they don't do is play about me. My homeboy Tyler, he playing South Beach. He told me this summer he gon' fix my jumper. I told Boy Wonder that we might got a thumper. I been trying to pop, now I'm on like Shumpert. Now they on my bumper. Green room chock full of all my comforts. Hotel room like heaven on earth. Got angels in my bed with some all white covers. Pro Nemo, Lucci and Kiso, Sloop Clay Tufo, and I got a few more I call my brothers. I got a lot of flows and they all like butter. Ooh, you know what that means. I came home nice, but I'm going back mean. I'm about to globe trot when they know a vaccine. Motherfuckers act lost, but they know exactly what's going on. Made a mill and I don't know where to blow it on. I tell a critic shut up like my show is on. Give a t-shirt to her, said throw it on. She want a mini high school classmates, I'm growing on. My peers ain't popping, they don't know what's going wrong. Y'all well dressed, but you ain't got soul and you just can't sew it on. I'm trying to tell y'all boys, I got a few songs I can sell y'all boys. I tried it back then, it was hell nah, boy. Now I'm in a box like a Kellogg's toy. The ones that hate me the most look just like me. You tell me what that means. Make a slick comment and see what that brings. I seen it go down, we can reenact things. Extreme like BMXing. These boys pussy and they PMSing. People in the city see the movement occurring and say, my God, I wanna be in that scene. Damn right you wanna be in this scene. She had the video trying to be in this scene. Used to fantasize about being this scene. Bluegrass girl, but she got big dreams. Can't touch me, I got instincts. Locked in the house, but I'm plotting things. I brought a gang to the party with me. 5 white boys, but they not in sync. No, they not in sync. No, they not in sync.
Welcome. We are back. Hope you guys enjoyed the new intro. Just a little loading screen while I set things up, but we are ready to go. Just making sure all of my audio is good. But just to kick things off, currently looking at the features. Haven't changed too much in the last few hours. If you remember, they were a lot more volatile last night. But welcome to the stream, guys. Just gonna be going through Fisker, Bitcoin, NIO, whole bunch of things. If you want me to look at anything, drop it in the chat, and I will take a look after I get through those first 3. But some pretty interesting things going on. Obviously, we got the elections, a lot of crazy things going on with that, and it's pretty close, at least currently. But I don't want to talk too much about politics. That's just not what this channel is meant for. But at the same time, they do affect the market, so we have to keep that in mind and be objective. But yeah, gonna start things off with Fisker. Let's get right to it. So I'm on the 5-minute. I do not want to be on the 5-minute chart right now. And I say let's start with the daily and then move our way down, take it from there. And while I'm doing this, if you guys want me to look at anything aside from Fisker, NIO, and Bitcoin, let me know. We already got 4 tickers coming in, and I will take a look at all of those. Usually I won't do 4 from the same person, but I want to do 3 of those either way, so I will also look at MPLN. But yeah, guys, welcome to the stream. Start off with Fisker on the daily. Pretty much the only thing that's changed on the daily is one, you filled your gap to 1066, and I don't know why the candles aren't fully loading, so let me try and reload. Go back to Fisker and then the daily. But yeah, the candle is not loading. I think it's just glitching out right now. But what I have noticed on the daily chart is you're about to get a MACD crossover on Fisker. So you don't have any divergence or anything, but it's still good to have your MACD going back towards green, and as you can see, it is inches away from doing so. Pretty much any good price action will move it over to green. And you did fill the gap to 1066 earlier today. Like literally you went down, touched 1066, and then you bounced like 3 or 4% after that. So good stuff there, but obviously the daily candle itself was pretty ugly. Opened at around 12 bucks and then fell all the way down to close at I think exactly 11 or something like that. But yeah, not a great daily candle. However, your 4-hour candle was a bullish pin bar. And a pin bar pretty much means that if you're having some downside price action, it's pretty much implying that you can get a reversal to the back to the upside. So a bullish pin bar right here is that candle. And you still have divergence, but it's starting to wane in momentum. The momentum of the MACD is starting to go back down. So what's pretty much being said right now on the Fisker chart is, I don't know why it's showing that. Alright, whatever. Is you want to have a good day tomorrow for the technicals to remain good, so that you can continue this uptrend. You know, you have divergence, but it's starting to go back down already, and on the daily you're about to get a MACD crossover. So what you really want is a good day tomorrow. Not only just because obviously a good day means more money, but also to help out the divergence and the oscillators, because you do not want to have this 40% bounce and then sell off 20%. You want to get back towards the upper half of where you got to and continue that uptrend. I will also look at Chewy, so let me add MPLN and Chewy to my watch list because they are not on it. And Christian says, I snagged some at 10 bucks. You still like to look for it, some massive short interest? Yeah, so I think if we can just get some demand in, I think there's a great chance for Fisker having a good day tomorrow. Keyword, if we can get some demand in, like around the open. I think the open tomorrow is going to be very telling for the day. So wake up early, be ready for that opening bell, and obviously take caution because of the election still being undecided. But yeah, the short interest is high right now, which could lead to a squeeze if we get enough demand in. We are going to add XPV to the list. Now it is going to take me a while to get through all of those, guys. I just want to make that clear. It's probably going to be a longest stream tonight, so buckle up. But yeah, that's the Fisker 4-hour. I really do like that it closed above 1088 though. I think that was very strong. And let's move over to the 1-hour, which is working on making hidden bullish divergence. I don't even have that charted yet. But basically you have a lower low on your MACD, which I'm trying to chart right now. And then you have a higher low on your price. So that is a bullish sign. And if this 1-hour MACD can go back to green, you can see some short-term price relief to the upside. So that looks good. I do like the close. I think it was very important that it got above 1088 to close. Yeah, absolutely. I do still believe Fisker is a very good long-term hold. I think we will see much higher prices in a few months and much higher prices in a few years. I just think this stock has a lot to do with patience. Like, I spent the last month of my life really learning every single thing I could about Fisker, which is why I have 2 separate breakdown videos. I'm pretty confident in Fisker long term. However, in the short term, there is a whole variety of risks that we are seeing currently negatively affecting the price. But yeah, that goes to the technicals. Every single time frame still looks fine. And it would have looked a lot more bearish if you closed under 1088, but right around the last 10 minutes it was able to rally back up to close over 1088, which pretty much like saved it today. So just really keep your eyes on Fisker tomorrow at the open. I think it'll be a very telling sign for what's to come on Thursday and on Friday. And thank you for the support. 16 people in here. Thank you all for showing up. Again, I'm just going to be looking through all of these assets. Also going to be looking through NIO and Bitcoin before I even start the request, just because those are in the title of the stream. Yeah, if you support what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. And I mean, I just did set up my tip page. It's like the first link in the description, but I mean, that's if you want to. I just had a couple people DM me about it, but I'm not. This is pretty much a free stream, no ads or anything like that. It's just there if you want to, okay? But we're gonna move on to Bitcoin real quick, and it's in this upsloping channel. I didn't even create this channel. I actually took it off of Madre, which was the person who taught me all technical analysis. So check him out on YouTube. But yeah, it's a very good looking channel, and I have to put it on my chart to show you guys, but I just want to also make it clear it's not my idea. But upsloping channel, I originally called it back at 10,800, and it's just been pretty much a rocket ship since then. Ended up breaking 14,000, which was my trading view is having a real issue loading tonight. It's just not loading the data. Let me fix that up. Thank you, Matthew, for the subscription. But yeah, trading view being a little bit slow, which kind of sucks, but we're gonna have to get through it. But yeah, here we go. You got over 14,000, which is this top purple line, and that is really big for Bitcoin. And since then, you're up another 200 bucks. So honestly, there's not a lot of resistance in this area. As you can see, just really not a lot of resistance here. Things can get really crazy here if it stays above 14,000 for long enough. But that is Bitcoin. You just want to stay over 13,900 and you can see higher prices. You want to use that as your support. JD and PKI. So we have a whole entire list, guys. This is going to take me a minute. I still have to do NIO before I even get to the request. But let's head on over to NIO after we just looked at Bitcoin. Shout out to the 11 people here. And yeah, this is NIO. It was at $39, and I noticed that you had some bearish divergence on the 1 hour. As you can see, a lower high on your MACD, but a higher high on your price. And then you were also at a 2.618 double golden ratio Fibonacci extension. So I put out a tweet when the price was $39 saying come back to test $36, which was your previous resistance. And it did come back to test $36, dumped about 7% or something, and then it bounced off of the support I also showed on Twitter. So if you want live updates like that, follow me on Twitter. It's over there in the bottom right on your screen. Thoughts on DraftKings? I will also look at DraftKings, but I do think it looks good, quite frankly. But I'll get to that in a bit. I was honestly hoping it could go down to like $33, but it never got there. I was actually thinking about buying some myself if it hit $33, but it has not, and it might not. But the technicals do look good regardless on DraftKings. How did you draw the initial fib on NIO? So to draw a fib extension, because quite frankly, when you're at prices this high, there is no other resistance. You've never been this high before, so there's nothing to compare this price to historically. But what you can use here is Fibonacci, and Fibonacci is very useful. Just for an example, on Piton, hopefully it'll show, yep. On Piton, you hit your 2.618 fib extension, and that is exactly where you reversed after a parabolic run. Now on NIO, you're at your 2.618 fib extension, and the way you get that is you take out your Fibonacci tool. Let me just make sure everything is lined up. Alright. So Fibonacci is over here. And you go from the highest, or your last swing high, which is the place you went up to before falling back down again. You go from your last swing high to the swing low. So as you can see, previously before this current rally, your swing high was $29.49 and your swing low was about $23. So you went from 23 to 29, but since you're looking for a sell target, you're going to use your Fibonacci in reverse. If you're looking for a buy target, you would do it from bottom to top. If you're looking for a sell target, you do it from top to bottom. And then it'll chart your 1618, which NIO already passed, and then it'll chart your 2618. So there's different ways to look at it. I did it kind of like this, where this 2618 would be at 39, and that was what you hit earlier today when I put out the warning tweet. So yeah, on NIO, be careful because you do have bearish divergence on your 1 hour, but this one's a little bit neutral because on your 30-minute chart you have hidden bullish divergence and you're in an upsloping channel, so it's a little bit contradictory. If that's a word, I'm pretty sure that is a word. So yeah, NIO, I can, at first it was like pretty bearish at 39 and it immediately dropped to 36, but since it did bounce off that support and created the 30-minute hidden bullish divergence, it's just neutral and I can see it going either way now. But you have to remember, I don't think this is a value area to get in for the long term. You want to wait for like a big pullback, because this thing ran from like $1 to 37 in about a year. So I don't know if this is a good value area. Personally, I don't think so. I never trade charts that have a straight line up or a straight line down. I like to trade patterns and consistency in terms of price fluctuations, but this is just one of those parabolic ones. And yeah, that is NIO. So now we got through Fisker, Bitcoin, and NIO. So you're going to finally move on to the requests, and I think this is the most amount of requests I've had on any stream yet. So it is going to take a minute. But honestly, I'm going to run through each chart much faster than I usually do, just so I can get through them all and not keep people waiting for too long. So we have BLDR, Rocket, MPLN, Chewy, Microsoft, XPEV, JD, PKI, and HYLN. So we got a whole entire list to run through. Yeah, I want to just crush each one. Let's get it going. And if you don't care about any of these stocks, at least you're getting some education value from the technical analysis. So let's get it. So start off with VLDR. And VLDR was in a falling wedge on the 4-hour. It also had classic bullish divergence. I posted a trade setup and it went up 15%, almost hit the first target, but then the whole entire stock market pulled back, and then it came under the buying price, and then it came back up. And that's just what happens when the general stock market is so volatile. Trades don't play out the way that they usually do. But currently it looks fine. Being over like 1220-ish is always good. Let me see. Your support over here, your wick over here was, am I showing that the right way? Like 13 bucks, so you want to get back over $13. But you are out of the falling wedge. I don't like that you're under the 200-day moving average though. And then on the daily, you just confirmed kind of classic bullish divergence. It's not textbook, but you did have a little run back up towards the downside on your MACD. So I think it could probably come up to test the 200-day moving average at around like 1380. I think you could see that next, but you just want to stay above 1220. So that is VLDR. Now let's move on to Rocket, which I posted about this morning, and I also posted about yesterday. It's kind of like a mix of a falling wedge and just like a down sloping channel, but the price is contracting, so it is more of a falling wedge. And you have classic bullish divergence on your daily chart. Let me put down my music. I think the music's a little bit too high. Alright. And then you also have classic bullish divergence on your 4-hour on Rocket. And that has already turned into much higher prices. The one thing I would worry a little bit about is the fact that you have a gap, and the gap fill would be $19.52. So about almost 5% away, something like that. But yeah, if the divergence plays out, you could come to test this supply line again, and if you somehow break this supply line, I think you could see 25 bucks, because at these levels it's just pretty much straight up, straight down, and once you get above resistance you could see a nice rally, but you have to get there first before we even consider it. I will add KCAC to the list. Now let's go over MPLN, which is right here. And I think I already looked at this before, but as I showed the last time I looked at this, which I don't even remember when that was, you had 4-hour classic bullish divergence. And what happened since then? Why is 4-hour classic bullish divergence my favorite indicator? Because after you get 4-hour classic bullish divergence, this is what happens. Up 15%. This thing is up 15% since you got 4-hour classic bullish divergence. I mean, it's just one of the strongest indicators there is. And then on a chart like this, there's really nothing else you can use. It's just a weird looking chart. There is no pattern or anything like that. But you have your MACD showing you classic bullish divergence, and that allowed for higher prices. You also did break out of whatever supply line it has, and you had a really good close. You had a resistance over here, try and make it look a little bit better, and you broke out of it. You closed right over it. So what you could see tomorrow is a back test of this supply line, and you definitely want to close your next 4-hour candle over that resistance. But yeah, that is MPLN. After that, we have to look at Chewy. So Chewy is just one of those absolutely insane stocks of the year since March. Let's see if we can find anything on it. No divergence on the 4-hour and no divergence on the daily. In terms of structure, I wouldn't say you really have a double bottom, because usually you don't really get double bottoms at the top of a price point or at top of a price range. I will add APPS or apps to the list, and I feel like we're running through it pretty fast, so I shouldn't take too long to get there. But this is Chewy, and you're just kind of in this range right now where you're getting selling around the $70 price point, and you can find pretty good support around $60. So it's just kind of stuck between $60 and $70, and whichever way it breaks out of, you could expect a move of that size. So just to target it for you, again, this is just the simplest version to do this. So I'm trying to just run through it quick. I'm not fully analyzing everything because there's just so many different requests. But if you break above 70, you could see 85, and if you break under 60, you could see 46, which would also line up with your 200-day moving average on Chewy. After Chewy, we have Microsoft. So let's go to Microsoft. So it almost, I did chart it and I said it could bounce off of 196. It almost got to 196, but it bounced at $200, the psychological support. And you don't have any divergence on the 4-hour. And you don't have any divergence on the daily. It looks like it's like at the early stage of a pennant, which would be something like this. That's kind of what I'm seeing from Microsoft right now. So yeah, that's probably the best look I can give you on Microsoft, because there is just no divergence and you're at such a high level already. So yeah, that's your pennant. It can obviously go either way, one of the simplest patterns there is. Now we're going to move on to XPEV. Again, I'm just like boom, boom, boom. I'm running through all these charts so I can get to all of them. Wow. I am genuinely surprised. XPEV went up 23% today. It was in a rising wedge and it broke to the upside, which is only about a 35% chance. So I'm not sure if any news came out today or anything of that nature. I don't know if it had anything to do with the elections, but usually from just technical analysis, you don't normally see this. One thing to note is that you did have 4-hour hidden bullish divergence, but I mean, that's crazy, honestly. HYLN, yeah, I will take a look at HYLN. And thank you for the support, Malachi. So yeah, there is no resistance here, so what we can do is use Fibonacci from your high to low. You already passed your 1618. So I would say the next two targets, or the next target, would probably be like 29.99, which is right around the $30 psychological resistance, and then it's also around your 2.618 fib extension. So that is XPV. But obviously, it never hurts to take profits if you were in before the 23% day, especially in crazy times like these. I think we got JD next. So JD, it's an interesting chart. No divergence on the 4-hour or the daily. But what you did have is a cup and handle. This is a pretty textbook cup and handle, where you have your cup and then you had your handle. It was kind of a weird handle, I'll definitely give it that. It was more of like a rectangle rather than a downsloping channel for the handle, but you gapped over the handle resistance with major volume, and there was earnings in 7 days or a week from now. So yeah, there is really no edge. I'd probably say the earnings are probably going to decide the fate for this one. And this is probably not the entry area. The entry area was probably in the handle at $79 when it was using 79 as its support. So that is JD. Now we're going to move on to PKI. And make sure to drop a like and hit the sub button if you support what I'm doing. Just trying to help out people for free. Figured why not. And would really appreciate any type of support in terms of just following the page and stuff. Let's move on to PKI. And you did have hidden bullish divergence, but that's already playing out. Again, there's just so many charts that look like this, quite honestly. You had like that V shape right around like May, and then after that it's just been running since. So I guess you'd have a supply line right there. And honestly, you kind of had a channel and you broke out of it. So let's take a look at that. So if you anchor it from right here and to there, and then you use the, oh no, you did not break out of it. So PKI, you're still in the channel and you're actually at the resistance. No bearish divergence that I can see. Well, you could get bearish divergence if it reverses here. So be careful with that. But yeah, if you want to take a screenshot right now, whatever happens in this area should tell the tale. If it breaks above this resistance line, it could keep going up, or if it starts to fall back down, you could see like 125 in time. But that is PKI. After that, we got DraftKings. So I warned about, or I put out like a warning tweet about DraftKings when the price was 48 and then it fell all the way down to 35. Let me just clean up my chart a little bit. And why I was saying, I said this I think at the end of last week. I said I'm probably gonna buy it at $32 if it gets there, because that was the support for so long, and then you were also working on 4-hour classic bullish divergence. And honestly, this 4-hour classic bullish divergence was so strong that you didn't even get to 32. You came down to 35 and then you bounced up over 10%. So yeah, your divergence is just starting. It still looks good, but you have to also keep in mind you're approaching the $40 resistance, which is pretty valid. And if $40 breaks, you also have $44 as a resistance. So be careful of that. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if there was anything on the daily. Oh yeah, you have hidden bullish divergence on the daily. Thank you, Marco, for the subscription. Appreciate it a lot. Thank you guys for the support. So yeah, you have 4-hour classic bullish divergence, and then you have daily hidden bullish divergence. So it looks good, but the issue is you're facing the $40 and $44 resistance over you. So we shall see. I really think a lot of these stocks right now, especially the ones I'm going through, and Fisker, like a lot of the stocks in the stock market right now are at a make or break area, where if they just get a little bit higher, they can keep running. But if they reverse right here, they can really dump. Just a lot of things are currently at a resistance or a support level. It's just weird, like pretty much all the charts I'm looking at the price is at a critical level. It's not really in a mid-range level, it's like really at a critical place. So I think tomorrow is going to be a very telling day, in my opinion. I think tomorrow and Friday are going to definitely show a lot of signs for the future. I mean, and also you have the election results coming hopefully this week. I'd assume this week, but we shall see. I mean, it's pretty much confirmed this week. I don't want to say stuff like that, but again, don't use me as your political source. But yeah, DraftKings is not looking bad at all. Just keep in mind that you have 2 resistances over you. After DraftKings, we got HYLN or Helion, and this one was dope. I actually called it on my stream at $18.64. So another thing is, like, if you're coming out to the streams and you see me go over a chart and I say things look good and stuff, like, I'm never gonna directly tell you to buy or sell an asset at a specific point. That is completely your decision. But I can definitely provide you probability, and that is what I did for HYLN. I've said that there was a good probability that at 1854, which was your support in July, you could reverse. Now, what else did you have aside from support? On your daily, you had hidden bullish divergence, and now your hidden bullish divergence is confirmed. As you can see, that little green wick right there got confirmed. You're back in the green. Not the best candle, kind of like a doji candle on your daily candle, but it's not terrible. So in terms of what could happen next, I think you might backtest the 200-day moving average, and then if you get a successful backtest after that, I think you could see much higher prices on HYLN. I think $25 is another potential resistance. Yeah, you might backtest your 200-day moving average. Again, just throwing this off the top of my head. And then you could probably see 25 bucks in time. 25 bucks is a pretty tough resistance to get past, but let's see if it even gets there. That is HYLN. And now we got KCAC. So you do have 4-hour classic bullish divergence, which has already started to play out. So again, guys, why do I keep on looking at divergence as like the first thing I do on all of these charts? Because look what happened. You confirmed your classic bullish divergence on November 3rd on this candle, and you were pretty much confirming it this whole entire leg down. So as you start to get classic bullish divergence, most of the time that's where the price starts to reverse. It's a very telling indicator for what could happen in the short term. And you had a resistance line, which you're currently right above. Wow. Alright, well, KCAC could be headed for higher prices. And the daily is very close to a MACD crossover. KCAC is definitely showing the first major signs of a bottom. You broke out of your supply line, and then you even back tested it, and you have 4-hour classic bullish divergence. So yeah, I have to redraw the Fibonacci because you went even lower on price. So now your targets would be those would be your targets, $17 and $18, and that would be your target for a long-term trade. This is not a short-term trade by any means. It can literally take months to play out, but the 4-hour looks good, and it could probably do pretty decent if the daily starts to look a little bit better. Just not a lot of data on the daily, but you certainly are breaking out of your downtrend or really trying to do so. And that was KCAC. Now we have apps and meds. So we have 2 more until I'm pretty much through all of these. So in the meantime, if you guys want me to look at anything else, I only have 2 more until there's none left. So drop any tickers in the chat that you want me to review. And yeah, thank you guys for your support. It's been a great stream so far. And again, make sure to hit that like, that sub button, all that good stuff if you support what I'm doing. And if you don't, I'm sorry, I don't know. But we got LMNL adding to that. I'm gonna add that to the list. Okay. just keep it going. So Ario is saying there's a cup and handle on Inuvo on the weekly. So now we got 4 on the list, starting off with apps. And again, what happens when you create divergences? I'm pretty sure I charted this around like 28 bucks, and I showed the hidden bullish divergence, and since then, since it started creating hidden bullish divergence, it's up 31%. That's I don't know how many times I need to say it. Divergence, divergence, divergence. One of the strongest indicators. If you want to learn about divergence, I literally have a whole free video on my channel. If you go to my free course on my YouTube channel, it is the last video of the course video number 8. It's called MACD and RSI oscillators, and it goes over divergence. And as you can see, when you get divergence, crazy things can happen. So I think my mic is like really loud, so I'm gonna put it down a little bit. I really hope I haven't been screaming in your ears for the last how long has it been? It's not showing me. Hold up. We have been live for half an hour. Okay. And let's. All right. So apps. No divergence on your 4-hour. Wait. All right. So your daily had divergence. Your daily had hidden bullish divergence, and your 4-hour does not have any divergence. And then in terms of the structure, not much of one, just another high flyer. Obviously 42 will be a big resistance, which I believe is your, yeah, it has to be your all-time high. There's no way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 42 is your all-time high, which you just achieved. And I do see a potential for what is it called? Hidden bearish divergence. You could get hidden bearish divergence if you don't break $42. So be careful with that. And that is also some time away. And then in terms of support, $34 can be a support. You actually already used it as support on the last 4-hour candle, not this one. And that was just pretty much your resistance at the end of September. So that is apps. Kind of, your support is 34, your resistance is 42, and then the bullish edge is the hidden bullish divergence on the daily chart. So now we have meds. No divergence on your daily. And the macro trend is horrible. This stock obviously is not profitable and has not turned profit in over a decade. Is my chart glitching? Wait, what? Alright, let me just try and reload this. So I was looking at meds. Alright, I feel like TradingView is just being so weird today. Was that like literally? So when you go to the daily, that data shows, but then on the 4-hour it doesn't. I'm just super confused. I don't know what TradingView is doing. But yeah, I'm gonna be quite honest. The volume on this is extremely low. It's obviously a lower cap or a lower market cap. The trend is not good, and you're under a big support, which will now be a resistance at 539, and you had another resistance at $8, but that is super far, and you were just in this range between $5.30 and $8, and then recently you broke out of it to the downside, and since then it's just been dumping. So in terms of like a long-term trend, this is a bearish chart. That is my answer for meds. And then LMNL, another beaten down stock. It does have classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour, which means you have lower lows on your price with a higher low on your MACD. And then on the daily, it also has classic bullish divergence, so that is good. Let's see if we can get on the weekly. No divergence on the weekly. Alright. But yeah, it's just dumping. You finally do have classic bullish divergence on both your 4-hour and daily chart. But the issue is you just fell under a major support at 541. So what might happen is with your classic bullish divergence, you might run back up. You might retest 541 and it'll probably be pretty hard to get back above that. So that could be a resistance, but at the same time, this thing is just non-stop dumping. And as I also said, for the NIO chart, on the flip side, I don't trade straight line down. So I don't trade the NIO chart, which is a straight line up, and I don't trade a chart like this, which is a straight line down. It's just not really what technical analysis is meant for. So yeah, just be careful. There is divergence, but you're under a very critical support line. And then we have INUV on the weekly. Pretty weird chart on the daily. I did look at this some time ago, I remember that. I'm gonna be honest with you, I would not consider that a cup and handle. For a cup and handle, what you really want is to get up here. So as you can see, this candle on June 8th did not get back up there. Now another way you could be looking at it is maybe like this, but even if you're looking at it like this, it kind of failed to break out of the handle. Like, you know, this was pretty much your handle from here. Like, this was your handle. It's just another one of those horizontal handles, and you fell under it, and after you fell under it, you continued to dump. And you do have hidden bullish divergence on your weekly. So if you can get back above the 200-day moving average, it has a chance. You're literally right. Oh my gosh. So at the close, you were right at your support resistance at 40 cents. So you want to get back above 40 cents, and you want to get over that 200-day moving average. If you do both of those things, which are not going to be easy, or they might be, who knows, then maybe you could get some weekly hidden bearish divergence. So maybe this could be a long-term trade, but obviously I know nothing about this company, so you have to do that research yourself. But the short term is pretty risky, if I'm being honest. But yeah, it's not like bearish or anything. It's just not doesn't really have an edge for like an entry right now. Yeah, just not too much on that. Hope that helped you in some way, but thank you for the support regardless. Now we're gonna look at SU. So let's take a look at that. Suncor Energy. I'm gonna do this version, the $12 one, just because that's on the NYSE, and I will do Chainlink after I look at SU and AKTX. So Chainlink will be after these two. So let's see what's up with these ones. On your daily, no divergence, and not any support here except for these two levels. So your support is $11.12, and then $9.58. So that's your support. See if you have any divergence. No divergence. And then in terms of a pattern, I do like the 4. Actually, no, I don't. I'm not gonna lie. You kind of have like a neutral doji candle over here, like a long-legged doji. But in terms of like the pattern itself, you're just right at that resistance line. Maybe some, yeah, it looks pretty good. So you're just in this downsloping channel on Suncore, and you fail to break out of it today. So just watch how the price reacts between these two levels. You also, if you don't get back up, if you don't have a good day tomorrow, you could get 4-hour hidden bearish divergence, so be careful with that. But yeah, it was really close to getting a pretty decent breakout today. Just really couldn't catch enough bids at around $12.30, but that is SU. Now we got AKTX, and then after that we have Chainlink. So this is another low market cap, low volume stock that is in a macro bearish trend. Yeah, there's just really not much that can be done here. The trend is just super bearish. It can literally go to 1 cent. It's already been as low as $1. I will tell you, you're currently out of support, like literally right out of support. But this is not a good trend. This is not something you want to be holding for a long time. Currently it's just in between 155 and 192, and you don't have any divergence, so just doesn't look great if I'm being honest. Now we have Chainlink, and after that we don't really have any other requests, so if you want me to take a look at something, probably gonna be live for another 10 minutes, so drop it in the chat. And remember, just trying to help out people for free. So if you support what I'm doing, I'm not trying to sound like a broken record, but literally all I'm asking for is just hit that subscribe button, come out to the streams, learn something, and we just grow this community. That's the main goal right now, and hopefully we can do just so. But yeah, what's going on with my TV? I have no clue. Let's look at Chainlink. And Chainlink, I already charted this. You kind of had like 3 rising values, but on this last low, you got a little bit lower than your previous one. So we are going to take that off the table. Although I do like what the price is doing here. Being above $10.31 is very important. That is a historical support resistance level, and you're also still in this upsloping channel or rising wedge, however you want to look at it. And then in terms of divergence, you had classic bullish divergence, and that's already begun to play out. Literally on the candle you confirmed classic bullish divergence. You went up 7%. So this is why I keep on saying divergence, divergence, divergence is so useful. And my voice is really starting to go. This happens on like every stream, so probably gonna wrap it up soon just to save the vocal cords, you know what I'm saying? Gotta keep them nice and healthy. I really don't know what I'm saying at this point. But yeah, Chainlink, 4-hour classic bullish divergence. Really not that much on the daily chart. So yeah, you're just at the bottom of this channel. It could definitely run over here. You just want to hold $10.31, and if you can do that for long enough with your 4-hour divergence, you could probably come to test 1168. Yeah, you reversed there once in September, once in October, and once this month. So if you stay above 1031 for long enough, you could see 1168 very, very easily, especially with the divergence. PDD. Currently at an all-time high. All right. Yeah, this one's a high flyer. No bearish divergence or anything. There is earnings on November 12th, and your major support would be literally like $98. Just because that was your previous resistance, so it is very common to see resistance flip into support after you break that resistance. So you could get a nice support at $98 in terms of, obviously it's an all-time high, so there is no horizontal resistance for me to look at. But what I can use is Fibonacci, and if we go from your last swing high, which was $98, to your last swing low, which was $70, your 1618 is $115, and your 2618 is just so far away, so I'm not even going to chart that right now. But yeah, you could see 115 pretty easily, quite frankly. But you are overbought on your daily chart, so be careful about that. But yeah, your support is 100, your resistance is 115. Simple as that. Don't want to overcomplicate it or anything. And obviously just pay attention to what will happen with the earnings next week. But that is PDD, and I think that about wraps up everything. Almost an hour in. I try to keep most of my streams about an hour long. Don't want to make it too long or too short. And tonight was the most amount of assets I've ever ran through. I don't even know how many we did, probably around like 20. So thank you guys for the support. Already had 100 different people on this live stream, or 94 unique viewers come out, which is absolutely insane. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be back tomorrow night around the same exact time. So I will see you then. Thank you guys for coming out, and have a good one. Stay safe and trade safe.